Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today I want to talk to you about where you can go camping this winter. It's October as I'm shooting this of 2022, and a lot of you are probably starting to think about where you're going to camp for the winter. And I want to tell you that I think Quartzsite, Arizona is a really good place to consider going and spending at least part of your winter season in Quartzsite. I want to give you 7 reasons why you would think about it, and at least part of it, and 3 reasons why you may not want to think about it. So there's never just all positives, there's always some negatives, and Quartzsite definitely has some negatives. Okay, reason number 1 is community. You know, most places I go, I feel out of place. You know what I mean? You know, if you're living in a car, van, or RV, or an old beat up old ambulance, you feel out of place. There are people with nice RVs, there are people in nice houses, and you just don't quite fit in. You're not a part of a community. Well, you will not feel that way in Quartzsite. It is a place designed, I think, almost with us in mind. Everywhere you go, you'll see people just like you in cars, tents, a lot of tents, vans are just everywhere, RVs, a lot of RVs, more RVs, but nomads. And you will feel at home. And when you go drive through town, you spend some time just watching the people driving through town. It's going to be people just like you and me. So it is community. And if you're looking for community, you don't have a built-in community yet, it is the perfect place to go to camp. But there's another real good part of community, and that is the fact that there will be an RTR, Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, this year, and it will be in Quartzsite. So if you come in January, there will be an RTR, and you can come there and you can meet people, and it will just be fantastic. The dates on the RTR this will be 2023, January of 2023. I'm shooting this in October of 2022. So the very next one that happens. The women's RTR will be 7th through the 12th in Quartzsite, Arizona. And the main RTR, everyone's welcome, is the 13th through the 20th. So you come for the RTR. If you don't come to Quartzsite for any other reason, come during the RTR. Some of you may not know what the RTR is. The RTR is Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. I started it, it's been like 13 years now. The last 3 years have been hard or non-existent because of COVID, and then before then we ran into a problem with the BLM. But it's going this year. It was the same exact place. It's going to be in the main park in Quartzsite, Arizona, across the street from the library. So reason number 1 is community, and specifically the RTR. Number 2 is you can get a job. A lot of us are still working. We're not old enough yet to be on a pension or on Social Security, and you need a job. Now, if you need a job right now, this winter, then you want to get to Quartzsite as early as you can. They hire tons of people going into the busy winter season. Quartzsite is this little tiny town of like 2,000 to 3,000 people, and over the summer when it's unbearably hot, that's all there are, 2,000 to 3,000 people there. But come winter, the snowbirds like you and I flood in, and it's packed, and so going into the busy winter season, they hire a lot of people. They hire right now. Right now, if you're watching this in October or November of 2022, there's a job waiting for you in Quartzsite. As it goes on, it gets into December and January. December, there's still jobs. January, it's unlikely. February, you'll be laid off maybe. So, or by March, you'll be laid off. Right now, early in the season, is a great time to go get a job. Jobs like fast food. There's 3 or 4 fast food places. They all hire, staff up. Truck stops. The truck stops all hire. Vendors. So they set up all these tents all over town, and vendors come in and sell things. They hire a ton of people to help them with the setup, the tear down, being a salesperson, lots and lots of jobs. If you have waitressing work, man, Quartzsite is perfect for you. They need a lot of folks to come in and take those jobs, and they make really good money in tips. So that's jobs for now, over the winter. And then in January, the big tent starts. The big tent is literally that, a great big tent. It's an RV show. And most of the summertime concessionaires come to do their hiring. So what do I mean by summertime concessionaires? If they run, well, I worked as a campground host for 4 years, and the company I worked for went there every January at the big tent show, and it was their goal to hire all their employment needs right there at the big tent. They hired everybody. You walked in, you signed out, you filled out an application, you had an interview. They do a search, background search, so that you didn't get the job right then, but they would say, as long as your background checks out, you're in. I've sent hundreds of people there, and I don't know of anyone that didn't get a job if they wanted a job. So you can get a summertime job there. There's a lot of them, and I won't go into any more details than that, but you can get a job at Quartzsite. That's a great reason, something they offer that almost no one else offers. Job right now, job coming up in the summer, and then going on into the fall. Amazon has always had a booth there for a very long time. Lots of places. The Beet Harvest has had a booth there in the past. So lots of places with lots of jobs. So that's reason number 2. Reason number 3, you might want to think about going to Quartzsite, is the fantastic camping. I mean, it is fantastic camping, just all over town. If you want an example of where you can find all the camping, go to freecampsites.net and just type in Quartzsite, Arizona, and it will have them all listed. And there's just designated areas, not spots, but areas all over, to the north, to the east, to the south, to the west, just all over. It's unlimited camping. It can be crowded if you want. You can be in and amongst a bunch of people. You can meet friends there, make friends there, or you could be out more remote and not have hardly anyone around at all. That's your choice, and you have both those choices in Quartzsite because there is really, really great camping. Also, the LTVA is there. I just put out a video on that. So you can pay $180 and get 7 months camping. And in Quartzsite, the LTVAs offer water, trash, and a dump station. All those things are right there. And for $180 for 7 months, that's $25 a month. The 4th reason to consider going to Quartzsite is it is set up and almost designed for RVers. And because it's flooded with RVers every winter, snowbirds coming to camp there for the winter, it is so set up so well. So things you need and that usually are a problem to figure out are all right there and easy and simple. Things like water. Where do you get water? Well, water's available all over town, as cheap as a nickel a gallon. So water's easy. There are dump stations everywhere. I mean, they are dump stations all over Quartzsite. Propane stations, a dozen places where you can buy propane, just anywhere. You got so many choices. And trash. Trash is always a big problem, isn't it, for us, isn't it? Well, there's a free transfer station right there in Quartzsite. It's open 4 days a week, pretty good chunk of the day. Just, getting rid of your trash is as simple as can be. Another way it's set up is there's free Wi-Fi all over town. So there's all the fast food. They all have free Wi-Fi, and a lot of them will let you come in and plug in your device and be right there on Wi-Fi. There's a library, which is another great resource. I mean, you can go in there and rent books, rent movies, and they got a free Wi-Fi right there. And free Wi-Fi is commonly available. Showers is a big thing, and so it's also set up with a lot of showers. So there are 2 or 3 laundromats in town, but one of them has showers. It has free Wi-Fi. There's an attached restaurant. So reason number 5 that you might consider going to Quartzsite for at least part of this year is the super easy access. You can camp to town really close to downtown, such as downtown Quartzsite is. It's a tiny town. But you're within walking distance. I mean, I have camped, and I'm not going to give you my secrets about where I camp, but you can camp very, very close right into downtown. And if you're a walker, and if going for walking, go for a 2 or 3 or 4 mile walk is something that you routinely do, you can walk right into Quartzsite. On the other hand, if you're a biker, you got a bicycle, you can bike all over Quartzsite. Pull a little trailer, go into town, dump your trash, get some water, get some groceries, ride your bike out. Really easy to do. One of the things I love about Quartzsite is if you pull an ATV or a side-by-side, man, you can just run right into town with your ATV or your side-by-side. No one will hassle you. No one will think about it twice. Number 6, it's pretty central to a lot of other good stuff. The main other good stuff that I think of is you're on the Colorado River, and at the very base in Arizona of the Colorado River is Yuma, and just right next door to Yuma is Algodones, Mexico. So you are 95 miles from Yuma. You can run down there, go into Algodones, get your prescription medications, really a third of the price on the dollar, at least. Really cheap. And go in to get your medications, get your eyeglasses. You can go down there and get dental really, really cheap as well. So having that easy access to Algodones and all of it that offers is super, super nice. To the north, you have Parker. And one of the great things is you only can be there 2 weeks unless you go into the LTVA and pay the $180 for the 7 months. You need to move every two weeks. So what a lot of people will do is they'll stay in Quartzsite. They'll move up to Parker. Parker's about 45 miles away and has a Walmart. So every 2 weeks you're going to Parker anyway because you got to stock up in groceries. So you go up to Parker, you camp there for your 2 weeks, do your shopping at Walmart, come back down to Quartzsite. So you can bounce back and forth all winter. You'll never drive more than 90 miles a month from there to Parker back. You'll have been to a Walmart twice. You've got easy access to dump and water and trash and on and on. And that's a great setup. And north of Parker, you have Lake Havasu, which is beautiful, and it's on a lake, and tons of people go up to Lake Havasu and love camping up there. So you can go up there and camp for a while, and you can run right over to the Colorado River. You can camp right on the Colorado River on a number of places. Ehrenberg's a little town that's over there. And there are LTVAs all around. It's a central access to all kinds of things. Number 7, and for me, this may not be an advantage to you, but it is to me, is fast food. I do like my fast food. So there's a Burger King, McDonald's, and Carl's Jr. all there. Of course, Subways are nearly everywhere. So to me, that is a big plus. There are a couple of mom and pop restaurants there in town that I go to multiple times. I look forward to them. There's some really interesting shopping at the vendors' tents, something called K&B Tools. My first stop and my last stop in Quartzsite is always K&B Tools. They got great selection of tools and RV stuff, and it's cheap and better than most cheap Chinese junk. I've bought some really good cheap Chinese junk there. So to me, that's a plus. And several places in Quartzsite, they have these big tents. There's ones actually in a physical building now where grocery stores have stuff that goes out of date, or it's banged up, or it's damaged, or they just bought way too much of it and they couldn't sell it. It goes there, and so you can buy a lot of really cheap food. These are kind of scratch and dent grocery outlets. So there you go. There are 7 good reasons why I think you should at least consider traveling to Quartzsite for part of your winter and getting to know it. I think it's a great place. Now I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you think, yeah, Quartzsite, yuck, I hate that place, I'm not going there. And a lot of you, I know, as soon as I said that, at the name of as the purpose of this video, that's exactly what you thought. So let me tell you the reasons you might not like Quartzsite at all. First, it can be really crowded. At the big tent, big tent is super popular. Even most camping will even start to fill up. You never can't get a campsite, but it can get pretty darn full. And traffic, driving around in Quartzsite at the big tent, it can be pretty hard. It can be real unpleasant at times of the year. Once you get to know it, you learn how not to drive down Main Street, because everyone's driving down the Main Street, 95 and literally Main Street, which parallels the freeway. If you learn how to get around, traffic isn't a problem. The second reason you may not want to go to Quartzsite is the shopping in the town of Quartzsite is not good. It is not good at all. There's 2 pretty nice mom and pop grocery stores. Their meat selection is surprisingly good and surprisingly reasonable. Produce isn't bad. It's not great or anything, but it's good. But all their other prices are outrageous. If something is $2 at Walmart and $3 at Safeway, it will be $5 or $6 at one of these stores. I mean, it's just going to be, you're going to see the price and you're going to, I'm not going to pay that much, but where else are you going to go? You're in Quartzsite, and that's what you got to pay. There are $2 stores, and they don't carry a huge selection, but everything they carry is national prices and good prices. Problem being, they can't keep things on the shelf. So there it is. You'd love to buy it. You're ready to pay them. And they don't have it on the shelf because the shelves are always empty because they're the only good, reasonably priced places in Quartzsite to go shopping. And when they have it in, it's great because you can go in there and you can shop cheap. But otherwise, and it's always, the lines are long because everybody's going to the $2 stores because they're the cheapest places in town. The nearest reasonably priced shopping is in Blythe, which is 30 miles away. It's about a 30-mile drive to the shopping, to the Smart and Final, which is a great store. And of course, 45 miles to the north is a Parker with a Walmart. But then the Walmart gets slammed, and you go up there and it can be packed, crowded, and picked over. So a third reason you might not really want to go to Quartzsite is the weather. It's desert, and so it's not, surprisingly, it can be cold. My recommendation is everyone to come ready for cold. It can get down into around freezing easily in there, and you can get a windstorm. I guess it's the windstorms that might make you think about not going to Quartzsite. The windstorms can be really unpleasant. The windstorm can settle in and you'll have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days of just kind of perpetual wind. And when you get a rainstorm in, I've been in a few really gully washers where flash flooding is an issue. The weather can be less than pleasant. It's still, would you rather be in Minnesota and 20 below and 10 feet of snow? I mean, is that better weather? So there you have it. 7 reasons why you might think seriously to travel to Quartzsite and spend a big chunk of your winter in Quartzsite, and 3 reasons why when you get there, you think, why didn't he tell me about this? And I did tell you about it. There you go. Have you been to Quartzsite? What did you think? What am I forgetting? What are good reasons other reasons that you might go there? And what are the bad things that I forgot to tell? So leave those down in the comments, and we'll all learn from and grow from each other. And that's the way community works, isn't it? Another thing, I'm just going to put out very quickly now a video on once you get to Quartzsite, where are things? Where are all these dump stations? Where's all the propane? Where's the trash? How am I going to get water? Bob, you talk about it, but I can't find it. And so I'm going to put out a video giving you a nice tour, pretty detailed tour of Quartzsite and where everything is that you need to know about. So I hope that will help you. Watch for that video coming out very soon. Okay, I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, hit it a bunch of times, and we'll talk to you later.